Is this recording? Yeah, I think it is. Okay. Oh, I have so much snot in my head. Hello everyone! Today I'll be sharing a very important experience of mine concerning social media and growing an audience. I've been asked about this a lot, and I need to start off by saying that there is no golden answer that would make you go, aha! And suddenly you have thousands of followers. That's just not the way things work. The only thing there is to it, and I feel like this is like a repeating thing in all my videos right now, but it's hard work. And if you want to succeed, you have to work hard. So this is a story about how I left my old Instagram account with around 5,000 followers in favor for a fresh start, and how that was game-changing for me. By the way, I'm pretty struck down with a cold at the moment. You can probably hear it. My voice sounds so silly. Oh, they're just... I'm sorry. But I need to record this, okay? I need to. I just fear that my voice will be worse in the next following days, so... Also, before I get started, do you remember that Vike tablet I reviewed last time? Well, Vike has been so nice to actually sponsor a tablet for one of my followers. But you have to go and participate in the giveaway on Instagram. It runs until December 3rd, and all you have to do is like the post and comment it. So for one lucky follower, Christmas comes early. Okay, so during summer of 2017, I started to realize that my posts on my Instagram profile were performing poorly. This was my old Instagram profile, okay? I spent so much time and energy trying to figure out the reason. I previously had good engagement on my posts, but they were just dropping rapidly all of a sudden. I tried posting other times a day, other times a week. I tried posting my content in a different way. I tried posting different kind of art-related content, but it just didn't get better. I was stuck at the same follower count for the entire summer or longer, and each post I made performed equally poorly, or good, if you will. I started considering to start over from scratch, but I was generally afraid, mainly for two reasons. One, it is scary when you've built an audience of about 5,000 followers to leave them behind and start anew. Even if most of those followers aren't engaging with your content anymore, it's still scary because it's a big number. I fought for those followers and I was proud of having them. Reason number two, I didn't realize the cause that my posts were performing so poorly, and I didn't want to drag an potentially unhealthy pattern in a social media kind of aspect to my new account. So I'd heard about engagement rates before in school when I was studying to become a multimedia designer, but I started to really look into it at this point because perhaps I could find some of the answers through statistics. So your social media engagement rate, or score if you will, is a calculated number, in this case a percentage, which more or less is a representation of how your audience engage with your content. One way that you can calculate it is by taking your posts from the past 30 days. Count all the likes and comments of the posts and add them together, exclude your own if you can. Next up, you divide that number by the number of posts you have collected the likes and comments from, meaning the number of posts you made in the past 30 days. This number is the average engagements per post. If you then divide that number by the amount of followers you have and multiply it by 100, you get your engagement rate in percentages. As you can see from these calculations, that means that 6.02 of my followers generally engage with my content. If you ask me personally, I think that's a bit of a low rate, but it isn't really like bad either. It just wasn't enough for my Instagram to grow. Another major factor in this whole thing is the fact that my Instagram account actually had success at one point with an average of approximately 400 to 450 interactions per post. but it was back when I was considered to be a fan account. I was very active in the Undertale fandom for a period of time, no judging, it was a great game. And I gained a lot of followers from that fandom, because I was posting a lot of fan-related artwork. For a short period of time, that was actually the only thing I posted. So it was great because fans are very engaging in their fandoms. So my engagement rate was high, and I earned about 4,500 followers just in that period. And I think that was in about 6 months. That was huge for me, okay? The problem was, as it is with everything that gets uninteresting in time, when I got tired of the fandom and slowly started to post my own art again, the engagement fell drastically. These 2 posts were posted 1 day apart, and it's so clear and obvious that the Undertale post is the most popular one. And it was like this in almost all of the cases. The interest in my account simply fell because I didn't post the kind of stuff that my followers had come there for in the first place. So, it went straight downhill from there. I had a few followers who kept engaging with my content because they didn't care what I posted, they just wanted to follow my journey as an artist. But all the other, perhaps 4,000 people, they were in it for the fandom. So as I moved away from the fandom, so did they from me. The problem was also that a lot of these followers had fan accounts. So when they lost interest for the fandom as well, they were just an inactive account following mine, adding to the number of followers never being active. And this is totally not me blaming the fandom or the fans of Undertale to not keep following me. I'm pretty sure that I could also have handled this transition a lot better. But that's in the past now. That's not the problem right now. The biggest problem with my old account was that my posts were performing so poorly in the end, that they were simply just prioritized down or didn't appear in my followers' feed at all. I got messages from people who were surprised that I was still active because they never saw my stuff in their feed, and I posted almost daily. But now that I knew what might have caused the huge loss in engagement, I was more relieved to start a new account. So I made a new account and transitioned slowly to it throughout the second half of October 2017, and on November 1st last year, I stopped posting to my old account entirely. So interestingly enough, I did a comparison of my old account in September last year with my current account from September this year, and these are the stats of my current Instagram. Obviously, my engagement rate has grown a lot compared to last year. Whole 18% in September 2018. I'm not sure what is considered to be the standard good rate, because it's changing a lot depending on what kind of line of business you're in, what platform you're at, and what kind of content you post. What's important here is that I see a very positive progress using the same formula as last year. So from when I started my new Instagram, some of the things that I did differently was that I started to be very active in my own community. I started posting the kind of content people could expect to see from me in the future, and most importantly, I started posting what makes me happy. I keep trying to find new ways to engage with my audience without making it seem like a chore for them, because I don't want that. So I usually try to give something back as often as I can, either by featuring my followers or do art raffles. I love my audience, and you guys are the sweetest people in the world. You always make my day. If your audience or followers are nothing but just a number in a big counter for you, they will definitely feel that. Oh, poor sick little me. I think it's the deadly man flu. Oh god. Okay. Just a few more paragraphs. So to sum this whole 1 year experience up, I had an Instagram account that performed poorly, and I acknowledged that. And instead of blaming the algorithm changing, I looked inwards and realized I had to change something about myself. I did the best I could to identify the problem, which was a big eye-opener for me, and I decided to start fresh. For the first 6 months, I gained around 2,000 followers. Over the summer, I gained another 3,000, I think, and suddenly things just got heated in the fall, and now I'm at 11k plus followers. Over the double of the amount I had on my old Instagram in just 1 year. So you could say that despite an old failing Instagram, I did something to turn this thing around, and it was a success. All this being said, I'm not saying that if you're struggling that you should just start a new account whenever things get rough. Because I've witnessed artists start new accounts or change their names or brands or whatever, only with few months apart, because they didn't either like how their account were performing or just for some other reasons completely. The problem with this is that it's very confusing. And at some point, your followers might be missing out that you're moving or changed your name and they can't search for you anymore because they don't know where to go look for you. My advice is, sometimes it's good to start fresh, but don't expect people to come running just because you decided to start over. You have to work even harder now. But in my experience, it does pay off. Like, I had 800 subs on YouTube for so many years, around 500, 800, whatever, but I just kept posting, hoping that someday a group of people would come and see my channel, like the kind of content I make, and they did. Engage with your audience. You don't even have to start a new account, you just have to start engaging. Let them know that you're human and not some business robot somewhere without feelings. Love what you do, because that really shows as well. If you're a small account and you don't necessarily have any engagement issues like I did, but you still feel like you're struggling and banging your head against a wall, my best advice is that you keep posting. Keep posting what you love, keep talking to your followers, and try to make some friends. It just makes the whole process fun and more worthwhile compared to just sitting there looking at your follower count go up and down while we feel like crap. It is hard, and there is no secret. Only hard work, some kind of consistency, and there's you. And I cannot deny that the ever-changing algorithms does have something to do with the fact that some people struggle and have to work harder than others. But remember that the algorithm isn't there to make you invisible or unpopular. It's actually there to help your followers see the kind of content that they enjoy and in an efficient way. We can't change the algorithm, but we can change ourselves. I guess that was my point. Lol. Anyway, I think it's time I go back to bed. My voice is so done for today. If I don't try hard, this is what it sounds like. Okay, let's do the intro while I don't try hard to maintain my voice. Thank you, everyone. Oh God. Thank you, everyone, for watching. You know what? Never mind. Just like this video and share it with your friends if they struggle with social media. I'm going back to bed now. I'll see you soon. Bye.